Yeah, it's too late now. We're going.
We are.
Oh,
Hello,
we're turning back.
everybody. Yes, we are now live. Welcome, everybody, and welcome to Shelley, our guest. How are you?
Hello. Yeah, good. Thank you.
Good.
Cold free.
Cold free? Yeah, this one
Yeah,
isn't.
I'm not. I'm full of cold.
Yeah, we've just been moaning about ailments. So yeah, we haven't seen you since summer. Rewind.
No. Good
That feels
times.
like a long time ago.
It doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
It
does feel like the winter just arrived last week, and before that it was summer.
Yeah.
Like it was still Rewind like a couple of weeks ago, and then it started, and then suddenly it's like, oh my God, it's going to be minus this week.
Yes.
Yeah, we could have minus degrees at night.
Yeah, it was a good one. What happens there stays there as well. We can't discuss it. So if you're watching this live, please say hello in the side chat. I did put in the title that we're going to talk about Vinted and eBay and the pros and cons of both. And Shelley, because you are actively selling on both, I thought it'd be a good chat to get you involved with. And we can take questions and opinions from the side chat. So whilst people are joining us, we'll say a few hellos first. We had in first was Ian. You were early, were you? Early bird. Welcome. And Mark. There's Leanne. Good evening, Paul. Yeah, our weekend was all right. What have we done? Doesn't feel like we've done a lot.
It's working, really.
Yeah, we were actually doing some work.
We didn't go anywhere fun.
No. Ross is long message from Ross. I hope you're well. Last Sunday, Monday and Tuesday was my best days ever on eBay.
Wow.
But like your video, went off a cliff, really dead, so it was weird. Oh, okay. Ours is normally reflected by how much work we're putting in, if I'm honest. Right? You can usually trace it to that.
I don't think it's weird, though. I think that cliff thing is actually normal now. Does anybody have consistent sales? You know, even if you're listing consistently, you're like, well, I'm listing consistently, and it's still like that.
Yeah, ours is better if I'm consistently listing. But eBay is way more erratic. We can have a 0 day and then a £200 day.
Yeah.
It can be like the highs are higher and the lows are lower for us at the minute.
It's definitely a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's... I sort of think that's understandable because not everybody can be, being viewed every day, can they? They've got to put it on some kind of turn basis, surely.
I don't know why they would.
I don't mind.
There's a lot of people that think it's switching stores on and off and all of that, but I don't see why.
Not completely off. I mean, just where what's getting viewed. Because obviously you're getting more views and you're more likely to sell, but because you just physically, if people are all like promoting quite high, you can't have all those people on the front page. You just can't.
Yeah, promoted has certainly changed how things work.
Yeah.
Because eBay have now got a way of making money out of who's looking at what. So of course that's changed the game completely. Right, let's try and catch up in the chat. Fluffy Muffin, welcome. Flipper Lee, good evening. Johnny 40 Coats. Just watching Pet Shop Boys destroying Mott the Hoople. Yes, they've done a cover.
Yeah.
All the young dudes.
I actually quite like it.
And is in Porky's. I know, right? How is it Sunday again? It is mental at the minute.
Whizzing round.
That's Flippy Retro, ladies. Oh, don't. We did the C word last week.
I know.
Can't talk about it again.
I know, exactly. It's a whole week nearer.
Right, I'm going to whiz down. Lots and lots of people saying hello. Resale for Rescue, Doug and Tony, Joe Forrest, Oris Harris. Lots and lots of people. Hello.
Catherine's in.
Oh, yeah. Another Rewind.
Yeah, Catherine's getting Rewind tickets tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
She texted me.
The Rewind crew are in.
Yeah. Tommy, all sorts of people saying hello. I'm trying to get to the bottom. Hi, Pete. There we go.
Stephen.
Another flipping Brummie. Not another one, surely not. Right. So the thought was we'd talk about the differences of selling and buying, I suppose. We can talk about buying on Vinted with our recent debacle. Are you actively selling on both currently, Shelley?
Yeah. Well, I'm not very active on eBay, but I've got stuff on there and occasionally stuff sells. So in theory, yes.
But you've got more stuff on Vinted.
No. But I
Oh.
sell more on Vinted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what are you selling on Vinted? Is it all clothing?
Clothing, bit of homeware, the odd bit of jewelry. But my silver sells better on eBay. And yeah, like it's stark. I've got the numbers of what I've done in the last like 24 hours if you want to know what I've got listed and what I've sold.
Sure.
So on eBay at the moment, I've got 183 listings. I've had 3 sales, which is almost 2%. And on Vinted, I've got 38 listings, so a lot less, and 8 sales, which is just over 20%.
Right. So Vinted's giving you a quicker turnover.
Quicker. Yeah. Yeah. Literally no comparison. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. A lot of people have said that they're getting more sales on Vinted.
But you generally take less in profit, would you say?
Not always. I think it's changing. A lot more people now are saying, right, I'm actually putting them on at the same price, eBay and Vinted, and see where we go.
Yeah.
I need to have a cough.
Because I still think of Vinted as a place where people go for a bargain. You know, everybody wants something cheap on there.
I think.
I was going to say, we know people who go sourcing on Vinted still.
Yeah. Lots of people. Well, it's the same as eBay, though, isn't it? That some people, they're not. You've got pros on there who might be going for more market value, or secondhand market value, but then you've got people that just want to sell a few bits around the house and they've no idea and they just want to get rid. So people used to source off eBay as well. I did, and people still are.
Yeah, I think with Vinted, it's about being on there all the time, refreshing. I know people who buy video games on there, and you have to be quick to grab a bargain that's been listed way cheap. But there is loads of stuff on there that you can flip onto eBay. Apparently, I've never bought on eBay. Yes. Did you want to read Ross's comment quick before we forget?
Says, a question for Shelley, who is lovely and bought off me on Posh a lot. How do you feel now about the high fees eBay have on jewellery? I saw and was amazed. Don't see how they can justify that level.
Interesting.
Yeah, they are prohibitive.
What rate are they at then? So it's higher than most categories, right, in jewellery?
Yeah, it went up a few percent compared to, I don't know what the actual percent is at the moment. So is it like 10 to 12 generally on, like, say, homeware on eBay at the moment? I'm
not really sure. I tend to work on fees all lumped in at 15% average.
Is that with promoting?
Yeah, that's my average of when I lump everything in. I don't tend to look at the individual categories. I should know, but I don't know, I'll be honest.
I know that a while back they added a few percent on or something like that, about 2 or 3. No, it must have been about 3% onto jewellery. I don't know what other categories they did at the time. And a lot of people said, right, I went to Etsy or other places. I went to Vinted. Because it was just prohibitive, like with having to, because jewelry's so saturated, having to promote as well. Yeah, it just didn't work. I mean, there are other ways around it now, obviously. I won't go into it in case I upset anyone.
Well, yeah, we know what you're getting at, because Vinted is free. Vinted is free to sell. eBay is free to sell, but only if you're selling as a private seller. So yeah, that's why a lot of people have migrated. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
What was Ross? No, sorry, Tommy was saying, what about he's selling on Vinted at the same prices?
No, that was
Who said
that was
that?
Derek.
Oh, Derek.
Yeah.
Hi, Derek.
Yeah, Ross was just saying it's 14.9%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was like 10 to 12 on, normal categories, and then it went up to like almost 15 for jewelry.
Right. Crumbs. Yeah, so that's night and day if you compare that to 0 fees.
And with promoting, I was looking at a quarter of it going in fees before the cost of goods. So this does not stack up anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, so there's Derek saying I'm selling stuff on Vinted at the same price as eBay. So I guess it depends what you're selling. Derek does a lot of electronics and that sort of stuff. So I guess it's that sort of thing. Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting on and experimenting. We're probably going to wait till after Christmas and wait till the dust settles with all of the bugs that were plaguing the business accounts, and then go across and have a look.
Yeah, I just don't have the headspace for it at the moment.
Well, we struggle to keep up with our eBay store. So adding another one in, I think it'll be good for us though.
Yeah, because I sell on Etsy as well. So
yeah,
it's, I'm already cross-listing to Etsy, and then the thought of cross-listing to Vinted as well, it would take me forever.
Well,
I don't want to use a cross-lister. I know people will suggest that, but I don't trust them.
Yeah, no. One way of doing it is to use different platforms for different things. So you're not having to like check, oh God, that's sold there, and I've got to run over and make sure I've deleted it off something else.
Know what to put on what, if you know what I mean. Because it's mostly all vintage homeware. So
yes, I'm selling a bit of homeware on Vinted.
Yeah.
So
is it going well with the vintage homeware?
Well, yeah, relatively, because it's only a tiny bit. I'm trying to think what I've like the glass lampshades, the Tiffany style. One of those went in like things go in like a day or two if it's any good. And for the sort of price. So I look up the solds on eBay, and then I defect to Vinted and use that information to price it.
I wonder if not that many people are doing homeware yet, so it's kind of there's not as much competition. Perhaps that's the reason you get quicker sales.
But clothing's the same. It's so quick because if I don't, I'm really impatient. So if the watches come so quick on Vinted, if I don't see watches, and this is terrible, honestly, within hours, then I drop the price, and then when you've got the price right, the watches come, and if it's any good, definitely 1-2 days within the week, and if it's after that, I think I'm probably priced too high, something's not right here.
So forgive me for not knowing, but is Vinted, can you sell anything on there now, or are they still slowly opening categories, or do you know what
not anything? Well, because I thought you couldn't sell craft stuff. I'm sure that's still in their T's and C's, but I went looking for like an ermine, like see if ermine tapestries are on there. And there was somebody with all cross-stitch and tapestry kits on there. I was like, well, how are they getting away with that? And it's under tapestry and wall hangings, because I had a couple of kits taken down as, you're not allowed to sell this. And how are they getting away with that? Right. So I don't know if because they sort of say not handmade stuff, although I sell hand knitted jumpers, go quite well on there. So yeah, who knows?
So you can kind of find ways of selling anything on there within reason.
I suppose you haven't knitted it yourself, or have you?
It's still handmade.
Well, yeah, but
I'm a very crafty person, obviously. No.
Andrew was asking there, has eBay said anything about buyer's premium for next year? So I haven't heard anything direct from eBay, certainly. It wasn't mentioned at the seller council meeting we had last month.
No.
They've mentioned it, haven't they, in public, and I think it'll either be January or April.
Yeah, it's definitely on the cards.
always outnumbered, has said eBay will ditch fees for all accounts in the new year and do the Vinted model of buyer's protection fee and make promotions compulsory.
Promotions compulsory.
I hadn't heard it. That was new. That's new to me.
That's just another way of, if you've got compulsory promotions, that's just another way of saying we're charging you like a shop fee, or we're charging a fee still, isn't it? Yeah. We're just calling it something. We'll call this one regulatory one-off.
Well, the thing is,
we need to add more. We need more money, so we're just going to add a little thing on.
To me, compulsory promotion means you're now all at the same level. We're just taking 3% or whatever it is, right? So it's just a tax, really. At least when promoted is up to you. You can pay to get the so-called benefit or not. But when it's compulsory, there's no point, because
there's no point. It's just an extra thing.
Unless you're going to pay more, which is what they will hope people will do, right? To rise above the
well, I think they're hoping to push more of these sort of off-site ads and all of that.
But where does all of that end? It's just
well, it ends with you not earning anything.
Well, yes.
I mean, they're earning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also ends with people saying, well, it's just not
viable.
It's not viable for me. I need to go and sell somewhere else.
Antoinette, works on 15% fees on jewellery. It's ridiculous, really. It is when the competition is zero. Let's put it that way.
Right, Will's got a question there.
Okay.
Do you have any thoughts about using Fleek, especially this time of year when it's harder to get stock?
I've not used Fleek. I know it had a bit of a bad rap, and then I see that some people have had good bundles off of them recently, but I don't think I'm at the stage where I'm not desperate enough. That sounds bad, but sorry if anybody is from Fleek watching this, but I mean,
they're a wholesaler, right?
Yeah, is it all clothing? I think it's all clothing.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, there was a guy chatting about it I believe at the summit this year, but I can still lay my hands on enough stuff myself without needing to take the chance.
Yeah, we never went the bulk clothing route. Well, I bought bulk of the sort of stuff I sell. I've bought it by the van load, as I'm sure you've seen.
We did do a bulk load of vintage stuff for Ellen during lockdown.
Oh, we did once.
And it wasn't that great.
We wouldn't do it again. Where was that from, though? Do you remember?
I can't remember now.
There was, during lockdown, quite a few popped up that have since vanished. Those wholesalers, I think they were capitalizing on the fact that nobody could get out.
Oh, yeah.
These places were doing it. We'll ship you X amount of kilos to your door, and a lot of them vanished after lockdown, I think.
Yeah, a lot of it came from America, didn't it?
What, the stock?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, some of it had goodwill tags on it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Queen Neen, hello. I've bought very cheap things on Vinted, so I assumed you couldn't see or sell high. That was my thought, to be honest. But my partner is selling at the same price as eBay. Well, that's what Derek was saying as well.
That's encouraging then. I think it's put me off thinking that, people want something much cheaper.
Derek again. I send out offers on Vinted as well. As soon as it notifies me of a watcher, it seems to work. I cross-list, and I think as long as you are proactive at ending as soon as stuff sells, you are okay. So you can do offers to watchers on Vinted.
Oh, yeah. That again, that's probably
I love that.
How I get the majority of my sales. Because everybody feels like they're getting a bargain, don't they? So
Oh, we need to get involved. I love that whole bartering. Honestly, I love it. It's great.
You're selling it to him.
Every day I send out offers on eBay, and it almost always gets me sales every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I send out offers and people don't buy from me.
I don't know what that's about.
And I think I send out pretty good offers, to be honest. So I don't really know why. But sometimes you've sent out offers on my stuff and it sells. So.
What can I say?
Don't be paranoid.
MK, you are very welcome. Vinted is great. 4K in sales last week.
Yeah.
So there's someone going big on Vinted.
So what's that selling? What's that selling? Come on, tell us.
Yeah, update us. What is it? Is that clothing?
That's amazing. I feel like we're just waiting for the first Vinted millionaires at the moment. Just think it's exciting. It's not going to be me.
Thomas, yes, Vinted Pro is launched.
Is Vinted Pro going yet, or just the odd one? Yes. There were some teething issues which kind of put us off jumping on quick, and also we're not prepared yet for another platform. We'll wait till Christmas is out of the way and then jump in with both feet, I think. But Pro, so you can sell on there as a business now, because you couldn't for quite a while and people were getting kicked off. Yes, and now eBay, of course, is switching people over to business when they reach certain parameters. It's all happening.
Oh, we were a bit behind. Stephen says, do they mean homemade crafted stuff? Probably.
No idea.
Maybe they're trying not to try and enter the Etsy market.
Ross was saying that it's still a buggy mess at the moment, so perhaps there are still issues. So we're probably wise to just leave it another month and see how it goes. Go on, Shelley.
What's the sound? Yeah, maybe they're trying not to step on Etsy's toes, because their values are very much, about recycling and doing things that are actually better for the environment. And so maybe because, Etsy's about natural, isn't it? And am I talking rubbish here? I feel like they might more align with their values than eBay.
I don't know. I wonder why they're avoiding that particular category. Perhaps it's just that they're going to roll that out as a category, so they'd rather people waited than listing the wrong categories.
Who knows? I don't know.
I'd love to get a Vinted rep on and have a chat. We do know somebody that works.
Oh, really? What a human being.
Someone who used to work very high up at eBay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I still have his phone number. I might drop him a text.
That was a brilliant bit of information, wasn't it? Is that school that dropped that?
No, we found out about that through someone at eBay, I think. Anyway,
I felt it's so telling, isn't it, that somebody high up from eBay also defects to Vinted.
I know, it was quite a coup at the time.
Yeah.
Derek, again, lots of stuff you can't sell, sadly. So like we were saying, you can't sell crafting supplies or whatever it is. People list stuff in the wrong category, and I avoid stuff you can't list. Can't wait till I open up more. I think they're just incrementally working their way through the different categories, so they don't get overloaded with issues, or I don't know. Interesting. But at least, so you're listing homeware stuff. What does that cover? Because a lot of what you do is homeware, but does that cover ceramics?
Yeah, ceramics. Oh, what did I sell recently? It was ceramic. Oh, plates. The pink Cornishware plates, cups and saucers, lampshades. Did I sell a lamp? No, I had lamps listed on there. I think I have sold lamps on there. Candlesticks.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
tree ornaments.
That covers an awful lot then. That covers most of what you pick up.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of what I do, media, you've been able to sell on there for quite a while. Video games, DVDs, CDs, that sort of stuff. And then toys and games, I think, is already open on there, isn't it?
Yeah, that was open for a while. And then electronics, I think, was the most recent.
So that covers pretty much everything we do anyway. So is there anything still that eBay has above and beyond Vinted, in your opinion? What does eBay have to offer you better than Vinted?
I did try and do a little mind map about this. I guess the biggest thing is it being worldwide, so you can put stuff on that you can GSP places, because Vinted's just within the UK. I I was about to say more intricate search tools, but actually, I think that's something that puts people off. People like, I don't like it when I'm over choiced, like I don't, can you just, there's 200 choices in supermarket, I don't even want that. Can you just pick 10 for me and I'll pick from those?
And quite often it doesn't actually work. You end up, it brings back all kinds of random stuff.
We have fed that sort of thing back to eBay a number of times, that they have over the years overcomplicated their site. And what people want more than anything these days is a streamlined, quick, certainly listing, streamlined and quick. And I think the buyers are more and more wanting quick, find it, buy it. They don't want to mess about.
People haven't got time to research, have they?
And I think eBay are sitting up and taking notice of that. I think the one thing for me that eBay has, as well as the worldwide thing and a bigger customer base, for me it is customer service. Even though it's not perfect, they have things set up that I think Vinted are lagging in my opinion. And that's only as buyers we've come across issues. But as a seller, have you struggled with their customer service yet or not on Vinted?
This is a buyer. As a seller. I have as a buyer, but now it's a bit like eBay. Once you learn how you like the rules, then it makes it easier to deal with the bot. If something's gone, was something I had to wait because it had gone missing. Oh, that's right. Before they had Royal Mail integrated, and they do now. I returned something and they said, oh, well, we can't look at this for 25 working days. I was like, well, you can see they've got it. Like, 'cause he said, I've got it, just waiting for the button to appear. And absolutely no way would they touch it for 25 days. And right. But now I know when they get to their thing, whatever the processes are, it's brilliant. But don't be trying to get one of those bots or anybody who even looks at it to not follow their absolute rules, because they will not. And the other thing, because I thought about that, customer service is terrible. But then if you want anything off of the norm, when you ring eBay, most people are reading from a script. And if you've got anything that requires thinking and it's not on the script, really tricky. Like, you can even try Ireland, you can get somewhere, but most of the time, just don't even, you come off frustrated. So I wouldn't even say.
You're right. I was going to say the same with eBay. They kind of have a two-tier system. For basic problems, you're okay getting farmed out to a call center, but anything that needs somebody to understand how anything works, you need to get Ireland, and that's not always easy.
I think one of the positives of eBay is the seller protection, though. As in, what they call seller protection and how they, remove negative feedbacks and various different things. And you've got the choice of like refunding only half if something comes back wrong.
I was going to say Neil was in. I don't know if you noticed, Shelley. Oi, who's the wrong one you've got on? Are we assuming he's talking about Shelley, though? It might be you.
It might be me.
This wrong one, just for Neil, did get Glastonbury tickets on Thursday. Hope you got some.
Have you met up with Neil down there before?
Yes. Yeah, last time I went. Yeah.
Excellent. Did you read Ross's comment before, or were you going to?
I highlighted it. He said, great thing about Vintage is positive feedback, even if a buyer gives none. So the percentage of positive feedback is more representative, would be a better way on eBay. So one bad person doesn't wreck your percentage.
So you automatically get a positive once the transaction's gone through, no? Or...
Yeah, if they don't hear otherwise from the buyer, then you get a full start automatic feedback.
Yeah, that makes sense. If the buyer hasn't said there's a problem, then you should get a thumbs up and a positive because it all went well. I like that. Yeah, and that does make sense to me.
And one of the fear. I felt like at one point that people can end up with PTSD from eBay, because the fear, you live in this fear of negatives, fear of like, oh God, I didn't list yesterday, so eBay are going to punish me and not give me views. And people talk all the time about, oh, I don't want to get punished by eBay. And like, this is ridiculous. We should not be. It's like bullying. We shouldn't be feeling like this. And I don't have that kind of stress on Vinted.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes I say it feels like, you've been sent to the headmaster or something.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. And that again was a big feedback we gave them after our last debacle, when we spoke to people very high up. It was like we feel like naughty school children, in fear of doing something wrong. And it's like we choose this lifestyle to not have a boss with a big stick. And eBay has gone down that route to its sellers.
Even if you've got oodles and years of positive feedback and you've always done everything right, they're just like, couldn't give a stuff. Like, if you're like, I'd say that was buyer's opinion, so we will not remove it. And
it will be interesting to see, as Vinted evolve and put lots more policies in place and things, whether they turn into something more like eBay, and eBay kind of regresses a bit and goes, and they meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it evolves.
Or if Vinted changes the game and does things differently. Right, you've highlighted another comment. Do you want to read it?
Annie is okay, says, even in all, have you had any issues with the Vinted postage weights, e.g. curtains only going up to 2K, and you can't list a different category without Vinted taking the listing down?
Oh, I haven't done anything over 2K, but I think Catherine has, Kat Baker in the chat, she might be able to answer that.
Yeah, because a big difference is that Vinted's postage is handled by Vinted, correct? Does that make it?
Go on.
Does that make it complicated because you don't have that control, or not?
No, maybe if you're in a category where they've limited the kilos, maybe you'd have to do it on separate listings. Catherine might know, but it's simpler, because you just pick if it's a small, medium or large package, and then they handle it, and then you pick in your postage what you want to offer. I can do I've not got Yodel on because, sorry, I was about to swear then, and also they're not local to me, and I don't mind doing in post, and so I tick what I want, and then the buyer can choose from that. And so it's all done, and then you click to print the label. You don't have to fluff around like looking between the different options when you go to do your label. It's just already done. Yeah.
Right.
Print.
So you put in the weight and the size, and then select the carriers that you are happy to use, and then the buyer comes along and just goes, I want Royal Mail or this and that.
Yeah, you don't have to put the weight in. You just go small, medium or large, and it's within the parameters of that box. And then whatever the buyer's picked, that's what they give you.
I like that. And then they generate a label and you just print it out. Yeah. So you never see the postage cost that's between Vinted and the buyer, right? Yeah. So that keeps your turnover down as well. Because at the moment, everything we put through, all of our postage is part of our turnover.
That's a good
so
point.
if we were hovering under the VAT, for example,
fees on it.
we do get
exactly.
on postage. We do. They changed that years ago, didn't they? Remember the war around that? Yeah.
And they're trying to bring in the simplified postage as well, aren't they? Because they recognise, again, that's just another thing that they're not competing on.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I kind of hope that this model is taken up by all of these platforms, that they handle the postage. That's between them and the buyer.
Yeah, it's not. We don't need to be involved with that.
No, and the big benefit for me, as I just said, is it's a massive chunk off your turnover, so it allows you to sell a lot more and not cross over into that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So MK replied and said that they've sold 4K selling shoes.
Wow.
I bet that's trainers.
1 month. Oh, it could be. Yeah. Lots of money in trainers.
Amazing.
That shows the potential of Vinted right there. Just that one seller sharing numbers. That's awesome.
Simply Jackson says, I hope I didn't upset you with my eBay message. Was this about is this about the flask?
I don't know. I'm not upset about anything, so nothing. No, I don't know what you're referring to there, but no, not at all. Also, I noticed the name of somebody before. Was that an MJ reference? The Annie is okay. Do you think that's?
I did think that. That's
I
what
thought,
came to mind.
I thought that was an MJ reference.
Oh,
Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay?
are you okay?
She is, apparently. Okay. AC Global. Hello. I list everything at the same price on Vinted. People are not paying decent prices on Vinted is a myth. I read only Temu has more scroll time than Vinted. The average user time is 50 minutes per visit.
Goodness.
They are doing well, aren't they?
Yeah.
They are
killing
taking hold. Because sometimes these new platforms, I mean, you were big into the Poshmark thing, and that came and went in a flash.
Yeah.
Vinted has established itself and put the groundwork in and really promoted.
Wow.
They were sponsoring Big Brother, probably spent millions on that.
And they do TV ads all the time.
TV ads all the time. So they've invested heavily in the UK, and it's showing. And eBay are responding. eBay are having to respond. They've not openly said, we're scared about Vinted, so we're doing all of this. But it's true, right?
Again, if eBay were more honest and open and said, we recognise that Vinted is, competition to us, and we are working to provide you with a better offering or something like that, everybody would take it a lot better than them saying things like, are we worried about Vinted? No. Well, you are, because that's a ridiculous thing to say.
Yeah. The biggest change on eBay ever, the whole fees thing, that's no coincidence, is it, that's come along right now?
No, not at all.
Sorry,
on Vinted.
Interesting. Oh, George is in. Hi, George.
A couple of people answered.
Sorry.
Carry on.
A couple of people answered the overweight question, the over 2 kilos. Ross and Catherine said that they just picked the large, and it just went through fine. That's the other thing. Sorry, I'll tell you that in a minute. Come back to me. So do that.
No, carry on. I was interested.
Well, I don't know if this still happens on. Well, two things about the postage on eBay, that if you're using occasionally Every would try and just stuff you with those knickers you sent were oversized or overweight or something. We're going to charge you a fine for that. And you're like, well, no. And you have to fight it. And they seem to just hand out periodic fines. But on Vinted, you'd never get any of that. It's like it would go to Vinted and not you. Yeah. So I've never had any problems with jewelry where it's a large letter on Royal Mail tracked. And yeah, that's right. I had something, and in the post office, she was like, it doesn't quite go through. I said, oh, can I have it back then, please? Just took it to my parcel shop, gave it to them, and then, stuck on the scan, in it went, off it went, all good. They're just it feels more like about let's get the job done and not funny around with a millimeter or you were a few grams over or even you weren't a few grams over, we're just going to try and charge you a fee. All of that's taken away as well.
I remember doing a video when Hermes tried to charge me for a couple of packages that I knew weren't overweight. Yeah. So I rang up their customer service and recorded it all, and he basically said, yeah, just ignore them. Just ignore them. They won't do it. It's
stressful.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, because the buyer protection fee covers lost parcels as long as you've scanned it in as having been accepted by the parcel shop. Then if it goes missing, you just wait a certain amount of time. Always a refund. Sometimes I didn't even know, the buyer hadn't even contacted me to say something was missing, and I just get this refund saying, oh, it was lost in transit. Here's your refund, you're covered. I was like, oh my God, this is bliss, because I gave up trying to claim for lost parcels of Royal Mail or Every years and years back. I thought it's just not worth the stress.
So the buyer protection fee really is where they take their money, right? And then out of that pool,
Not just that.
They're saying we are covering all the losses and issues.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how it's working?
Yeah.
So they take that whole stress of, will this get there? Will I have to refund this? Will I get scammed? That's all on them, effectively.
Yeah.
And it's taken out of that central pot of money. But
Yeah.
there are other fees then, you were saying?
So there's adverts, so they're obviously getting money from the adverts. There's also, you can pay to spotlight your wardrobe. So when somebody's scrolling, there might be a row of your stuff in the relevant areas. So you can pay for that. Like, I want a spotlight for a week, basically promotions. And you can also pay to bump something, like push it up for a few days or 7 days, just one item, which I don't think I've bumped before. And I did something at the beginning of the weekend for 3 days, and it sold today, because I was like, right, this is an experiment, like with my one item. And I thought, if this doesn't work, then I won't use it again. And now I'm like, actually, I might just bump one thing a day instead of spotlighting. But so they're getting money from that. But yeah, it's still, it doesn't compare because there's no fees to.
I do love the idea that they are dealing with all the hassle of the shipping side of it. That's genuine innovation, isn't it, really, when you think about it, to take control away from us and the stress away from us as well, as long as it works. And from your experience, it is working. I mean, the chat obviously highlighted a couple of issues, but not major. So that's a huge positive that I wasn't really aware of how good that was. Yeah. What's Derek saying? A lot of electronics you can't list. People put stuff not allowed in the other accessories category, but Vinted do take stuff down. I've tried and got a few taken down, so don't bother now. Okay, so they're pretty strict on what you can and can't list at the moment.
Yeah. Secret Carper says, for me, speaking to a human on eBay is way better than Vinted. Has anyone
spoken to a Vinted rep?
No.
Yes. It's mostly bots, and that was our experience as a buyer. We just couldn't get anywhere. And I don't know if you watched the video we put up last week, but it was just a farce. Their system had screwed up, and they weren't accepting that the seller has said, I haven't sent it because I can't send it because you won't generate me a label. And you're saying I haven't received it, even though Vinted was saying it's showing us delivered. And we're like, the seller hasn't even sent it. How has it been delivered? And the computer was just saying, no, system says it's been sent, tracked and delivered. And we're like, it hasn't. So we were fighting a computer system.
Did you do the eye to get, so you can like get to a human dealing with your item rather than a bot? When you do the eye in the corner, and you can get help. And first of all, you'll get the standard response. And then, does this answer your query? No, it doesn't. And eventually you can get somebody actually, speaking with you on text.
I don't know if I did that. I think eventually the person looked at it, but only when I got my capital letters out.
Not messed with Andrea and her capital letters.
Yeah, someone at the other end. Oh, we've got capital letters coming in. Yeah.
Fluffy Muffin's got a question for you. Could you see yourself dropping eBay as a platform?
Good question.
Absolutely. Yes.
Really?
Sorry, I'm just selling through a lot of silver at the moment. But yeah, totally.
Wow,
but I know
huge.
You shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket, but then also part of that might be my personality, because I like to put all my eggs in one basket. I can't help that. It doesn't, from a business point of view, it's just, it doesn't compare.
And how long have you been selling on eBay? Because that's a long time, right?
I started before it was like for my income in 2005.
So they must be able to see this from their own metrics, but I wonder if they're aware just how serious this is, that long-standing customers are not only reducing their listings, but thinking, I'm off, right? And you're not the only one.
Yeah. I'd love to know the stats of how many people have left, but also how many people are buying compared to 5 years ago. Because like the younger generation, they're like, what? eBay? It's so weird because they're just like, oh.
Exactly, because if the buyers go...
Ellen wouldn't buy on eBay. She buys on Vinted and Depop.
I don't buy on eBay. I haven't for years. I used to always buy on eBay. But yeah.
It's a double whammy, isn't it? If the buyers go, well, the sellers soon follow. That's the reality of it. I might be the odd one out because I buy on eBay all the time. And it's still my favourite place to buy, but that's just because I'm old and stuck in the mud, right? I've never even looked at Vinted on my phone. I buy on eBay, and also I watch like sort of interior design videos and stuff, and they always talk about sourcing on eBay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a long way from dead, and there's always scaremongering. eBay's finished, eBay's this. It's so far from that. But
I think it will continue in a different form, and maybe not as big as it used to be, because it can't have all the share of the market like it used to.
No, and that's the thing that's fundamentally changed, isn't it? That viable platforms are coming up that are taking chunks out of eBay. That's undisputable now. I think for a while eBay was just riding on the crest of a wave, and platforms were coming along and not really having any effect.
We're unsinkable. Yeah,
they had it too easy for too long, I think, and didn't put things in place, and now they're scrambling to react.
AC Global Reselling says eBay treat us like children when in fact we are responsible business owners. And Funky Neil says, speak for yourself.
Neil's still a child, yes.
I am too.
I think I fall into that category, unfortunately. Hi, Lainey. Lainey's with us. Good to see you.
Derek says, I just post it regardless of weight. Never had an issue if overweight, but it's usually not much over if it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the categories you pick have a weight maximum. Then.
Yeah, I reckon if you can go into the information about what does small, medium, or large mean.
Right.
But like once you got a handle on it, like small's like your large letter, and then it's a shoebox, and then it's a medium or something. Like if you're thinking about Royal Mail kind of terms.
Yeah, so here's Catherine's comment. They changed the parcel sizes a little while ago after taking all choices off for a while. I haven't been listing for a while, but have sent a few that were over 2K as large and not had any problems.
Right. Interesting. Because we had issues with Whatnot as well. The postage on there went up this morning, didn't it? And we've not done a show since we've got our heads around it properly. We've got two shows worth of stuff still crated up in the shed, and we've not gone back to it. I think because of the postage debacle we had on there.
I think it just feels like effort.
But we will get back to that at some point.
Pianist Louise says eBay have already implemented auto feedback. I've had a few since I started my business, although it doesn't count in feedback total. Mine says 9, but I've had 13 comments.
Already implemented auto feedback, have they?
I didn't know about that.
That is news to me, if that's a thing. Wow, okay.
Mind you, I didn't read the latest business update either, so.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that.
Lisa says, if they do the simplified postage, what happens if something goes wrong? Say item goes missing, is it our job to chase or eBay's job?
This is eBay's new simplified postage, which I haven't really got my head around how they're going to implement that yet. So I don't know. The simple answer is I don't know, and I have to wait and see.
Simply Jackson says, no, it's about the BBC archives footage. I don't remember seeing that comment.
I had a message come through. Yes, I know what it is. No, that was absolutely fine. Thank you for offering.
Oh, okay.
It's about the documentary about our village.
Yeah.
No, I already have a copy.
Oh, okay. Right, cool. What's Tamara saying? Trouble with the platform handling postage is it's okay when it's a standard thing like cards or DVDs, etc. but vintage, it can be all sorts of sizes and weights. I struggle on whatnot.
We did.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Tamara. Hello, Tamara. I have now.
Oh, we need to say thank you.
Oh, we forgot.
I don't know if Laura will be watching this.
And it's
and
right
I
in
have,
the middle of the video.
I know. And I have thanked Laura personally for this.
Should we do that quick? Do you mind, Shelley, if we quickly do a...
I need to know what it is now.
Tamara got me this authorized reseller Apple.
Cool.
This was being off for the charity thing last weekend, and I was bidding and then lost out in the end. And then Tamara gifted it to me, which is awesome.
Oh.
Yeah. And then we had this very lovely Christmas package from Laura. I'm
going to quickly show what's in it.
I was just going to, wasn't sure what Laura's username was.
Say hello, Laura, if you're in. I'm going to scroll to the bottom.
Laura Benson. Yeah, so we've got some really lovely candy. She's from America, by the way. So it's all American stuff. So got some mango tea and a very cute little mushroom Christmas tree decoration.
Oh.
And I love I particularly love the Christmas card because I'm a bit of a Snoopy fan. So yeah, some soap that smells absolutely gorgeous.
Are these for Jeff?
Yeah, he's had some of those already. He's dug into those. And some cheese ball mix. I can't eat that, but somebody else might.
Cheese what mix?
Cheese ball mix.
You do that, make cheese.
Ball?
Yeah, it's not something that we have in this country, I don't think.
Thing. Cheese ball.
Yeah.
Maybe you make a dip out of it.
Hang on, is it a Jeff one or before you put it in your mouth?
It's a hot cheese Carmi's dip, it says on the back.
Well, we'll have to make it over
We'll
Christmas,
make it Christmas.
And see what people think of it.
I don't think she's in.
No, she might be watching though. Yeah, so Vinyl Nuts says, I think eBay will buy out Vinted in the end.
Ooh,
I've heard people saying that, but I really don't think so.
It's going to get expensive very quickly because their share price has gone through the roof. So they will be expensive now if eBay wants to do that. I've missed the boat on that one, actually.
Well, they've got lots of big investment from the US. They're not in the US like as a platform, but they've got a lot of investment from the US. I just can't see that happening.
I mean, eBay must have a lot of funds for acquisitions, but that's an interesting thought. Watch this space.
Annie is okay. Says yes, it's an MJ reference because AI got my nickname from the song. I think Vinted need a minimum offer limit that buyers can set. I get some silly offers which are annoying.
Oh right, yeah, because at least eBay has that. You can auto set it to decline £1 offers or whatever, or anything up to a certain amount, which you tend to do, don't you? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like Jessica says, eBay's buyer protection has saved me cash a couple of times. Yes.
Right. Yeah, it's good as a last resort thing. It does cover you from blatant scams.
Right, I'm scooching down because
there's something funny near the bottom from Neil, but I don't know if you can read it out. Oh yeah, he's sort of dear eBay.
Let's go down to the bottom. What's his name? The eBay padded envelope is not necessarily a large letter, and large is not a parcel size either.
You bunch of twits.
Karen says, hi, I received my Disney wall clock I won in the auction. Very well packed. Well, that will be Stephen then, because that was one of Stephen's items. Came with free Minnie Mouse. Happy birthday decorations, which was very nice.
Oh.
Thank you very much, whoever packed and posted it. Well, that will be Stool. There we go. He's replied already. I'm late to this party.
Right, it is 5 to 9.
Is it? Right.
So
well, let me.
shall we think about? We'll start. We'll have a little look to see if we've missed anything. But people start thinking about your words of wisdom and popping them in.
Yeah, I will catch up in the chat. See what we missed quickly. Oh, I don't know if Stephen says, I don't know if Joan is watching, but if so, thank you so much for the card. It was so thoughtful of you. Yeah, I saw that. He shared that with us. Okay. Queen Neen, I buy so much from eBay. Yay, some of us are still buying on there.
Well, somebody say they were addicted to eBay. I don't know.
Yeah, that was Sean, I think. Yeah. Hi, Sean, by the way. Hope you're well.
That means you could easily be... I was about to say it's like this is a ridiculous thing to say. Sorry about this. It's like moving from heroin to morphine. No, not morphine. What do they give them instead of heroin? Methadone. But that's ridiculous. I'm sorry, but like if you're addicted to eBay, you could easily become addicted to something else.
I find this always interesting. There's always, no matter what you're talking about, there's somebody who's got the opposite experience. G-Man saying, I deleted my account on Vinted, total waste of time, nothing sold nothing in 6 months. Items always sell on eBay.
Wow,
right?
there you go.
So, you know, and there'll be people saying that eBay is still the best platform, people saying I only sell on whatnot or whatever. It's about finding what works for you and your business, and that's always the case. But I think these discussions are helpful because I've learned stuff tonight already about how Vinted works. I've never been on there. So
I'd say actually, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Elaine says that. Sorry,
well, you two sort it out.
Elaine says I buy on eBay, but I don't really like the layout on Vinted. There we go. Sorry, go.
Right. Oh God, I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh yeah, no, the thing like in terms of not having anything on eBay at all, I kind of still think it's the place for real collectibles and like, you know, collectibles that people would be willing to pay shipping for from another country. The rarer, I feel like Vinted's more like day-to-day living stuff that you want or need. And I feel like eBay could really become the collectibles place.
Well, that's what it was in the early days.
Yeah.
It's becoming an everything platform. And it might be a generational thing, like selling postcards and militaria and stuff. I think that's the home for that will always be eBay and maybe Etsy.
But then maybe that's the age group that's still on eBay, and as they die, then the younger generation come up. Sorry.
It just got morbid all of a sudden.
I don't know where it comes from. And then the younger generation.
I am one of those postcard buyers on eBay. Thank you very much.
Well, when you die, Helen's only going to shop on Vinted, so
we're going to have to do the bye-bye don't die at the end of this. What's Ross saying?
So Ross says Vinted's tracking system is mental. As I said to Andrea, I have an item lost and refunded to me and the seller, and it turned up a month later, so I got the item for free and the buyer still got the sale.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Well, at least they covered it.
Also, Ross is first in with the words of wisdom on the subject of jewellery. One ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them, in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie.
Wow. Okay. So I don't know how up to date you are with our live chats, but normally we end on words of wisdom from the chat, and then if we do have a guest, you get to pick a favourite, and we leave everybody on that. So just pick one as we go, Shelley, that you like.
Ian says, the best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today.
I'm liking some of the names on here that I haven't seen before. Scum Deluxe. Actually, there's some great ones, isn't there? Because Bone Cracker's in. And there's somebody's nuts is on there, isn't it? Oh, vinyl nuts.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Jessica says, don't spend hours removing dead bulbs. Clip them off from the wreath instead. There we go.
Okay. I just wanted to read this. Hi, guys. Just wanted to mention I wanted to meet you guys, Nick and Andrea, during the eBay seller event, but you were always busy. I just wanted to ask you what your thoughts on GPSR are. Now, we have been talking to eBay. We were going to do a video, but we're getting some more feedback coming from an expert within eBay about exactly what we can share, because the last thing we want to do is add to the misinformation that's going around. I think it's positive from what we know already, as in it shouldn't affect us too much, but we're waiting to get confirmation on some of the questions we had and some of the questions that viewers had to put to eBay. So we're going to put together a video when we have definitive answers, because everybody is confused.
Yeah.
Still.
But in the meantime, apparently there is some information in the FAQ.
Yeah, which we're going to cover in that video anyway. So keep your eyes peeled on our channel. I think our next meeting with eBay is 25th, so we have a few days to wait.
Week tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's coming.
Right. Do you want to read out a couple of words of wisdom?
Sure.
I just need to go and put Telly on.
Tamara, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Okay. Like it. Competition is the fuel that ignites innovation. Is that what's happening right now? That is good, isn't it?
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, take it apart and see what makes it so special. And then fail to put it back together again, Neil.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm saying? I've done that whilst trying to fix things to sell. I've just completely broken them before. Yeah, made it worse. Well done is better than well said. Hang on. Well done is better than well said.
Okay.
Oh, I think that's like walk the walk instead of talk the talk, isn't it?
Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite like it.
Will, with reference to eBay, you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Hotel California.
Yes, nice one.
Oh, thank you, BCP.
I like that. That's a contender, surely.
Chris is in. Always buy your rewind tickets early. Yeah. Thank you for doing that.
There's too many good ones.
Pianist Louise, don't accidentally drop the pot of dog treats on the floor, or Westies expected daily. My mum made that mistake. Oh, no.
The thing is with Westies, they've got a good memory and they're grumpy. So our Westie he'd be like, come on, daily floor full of treats, please, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Definitely. He's a little grump bag, our dog. He totally is.
He's very stubborn.
One word for him.
Yeah. And if I don't want to go off on dog chat, but if he hears a bang that scares him in a certain place, he never wants to go to that place ever again.
Yep.
Because he assumes that bang will happen every time he goes there.
So we can barely walk him around the village now because he's heard shotguns everywhere.
Yeah.
So he now dislikes the village.
We're running out of places to take
Wait,
him.
it's all right going in the pub, isn't it?
Oh,
He's all right at the pub. Yeah.
if we're anywhere near the pub, he just pulls to the pub. Hilarious. In the summer when we're walking him around and people are sat outside, we've got a dog. We have to pick him up and cart him away because he pulls to the door.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
bless.
does think it's a place of safety, I think. Porky says, strive to become the best version of you instead of the best copy of someone else's life. Oh, I like that one.
Mm.
I like that a lot.
Is there a seasonal hitching meetup? Well, we are starting to talk about that. So, yes, potentially.
Yeah, we
Well,
normally
we
do
haven't
something
organised it yet.
in January. If we do, and we probably will, that will be the plan, like a late Christmas meetup. eBay are working with resellers who put on meetups and giving some funding. Whether that
Blimey.
would apply to us, we know somebody who put one on in Manchester.
Yeah.
And eBay cover like food and a venue and stuff. Whether we want to go that route, because it might just be more headache than it is helpful, or whether we do one of our more casual, we'll be in the pub, come and join us and fill up a pub kind of things. I don't know, but there will be something. I would.
Why are they funding? Why are they funding?
I think they're just trying to get behind the community that already exists without them, and help community events. I think it's just simply they want to be involved. But we're going to speak to people at eBay about that and see whether that would help us or not.
Yeah.
That's my cynical, like, what are they getting out of it? What do they want?
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you put Shelley's channel in the description box?
I have put a link to Shelley's Instagram and YouTube. Are you more active on Insta generally?
Bit both.
Bit both. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, both links are there. So go and show Shelley some support over there.
Yeah. Lainey says, to be is to do, Socrates. To do is to be, Jean-Paul Sartre. Do, Frank Sinatra. That's my favourite so far, I think. I didn't read it very well, but that's my favourite so far.
Darren's words of wisdom, I think it's just showing off personally. I've sold 3 items whilst watching your live. We've sold none.
I think we sold something while we were live.
Oh, did we? Oh, I'll have a look.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what do you fancy?
Oh, I can't choose between the Hotel California reference. Was that Annie is okay, or was that someone else? Because Annie is okay had a good one, and also Ross with his Gollum jewelry reference, the King.
Oh yeah,
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Let's see if
There's
I can
3.
Let's try and find Annie. Are you okay?
No, Annie is okay.
Annie.
Yeah.
That's competition is the fuel that ignites innovation.
That's right. That was that Annie's.
Yeah. Well, the competition is the fuel that ignites motivation.
Ooh. Right. We can all decide whether these 2 offers that I've got in are worth taking. We've got responsive offer on this gorgeous chap.
Oh,
they look ugly.
It's a pretty ugly pottery money box, which you don't find very often. It's on at $16.99 plus $3.99 postage. They have offered, wait for it.
Might be somebody watching.
It might be. 13. So that's
Take
before.
It.
I think so.
Take it. How much did you pay?
A couple of quid, I think.
Yeah.
Right, that's going. Accept. If it is somebody who's watching, thank you very much.
I think it might have been £3.
Oh, that's not too bad. And then we've got an offer on a sewing machine pedal that was listed at 60. Cost me nothing.
I'm trying to find the Hotel California one. I can't remember what that was.
Right. So that is a Singer sewing machine pedal.
Wow.
Cost me nothing, listed at 60. They have offered
60.
Yeah. They've offered 45. Yep.
Take it. Good. Yeah.
Nothing into 45. That whatever.
Right.
Accept. Hey, we sold 2 things whilst live.
Hurrah.
Still not caught up with Darren. He sold 3.
Oh, it was Will that said, with reference to eBay, you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Oh, yes.
That's that's awesome as well.
All right.
There goes 3.
Oh, you have to be awkward, don't you, Shelley?
I try to be.
Right.
Excellent.
Wow.
Well, thank you for that. That was really good, actually.
That was a really interesting chat. It's actually sold me a bit more on Vinted. I feel a bit more positive about it now.
Yeah, I am looking forward to getting stuck into a new platform. The fact that I'm leaving it till the new year feels I can handle that just about. Just put it away into the future and I'm fine. But yes, thank you for
having me.
No, absolute pleasure. You are very welcome. So I have put Shelley's links below, as I said, to your Instagram and YouTube are below. Please go over and subscribe and follow. Thank you for all of your comments, words of wisdom and questions and your experiences with Vinted and eBay. We might revisit this again. Certainly once we get on there and we've got some actual hands-on experience. It's a really interesting topic. And I'm looking forward to the whole of next year as both platforms evolve and challenge each other and go head to head.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
Oh,
stuff.
sorry, can I just say thank you, Bumcracken Store as well, for putting my channel link in the chat.
Good stuff. So the channel link's also in the chat if you can't find them below.
I did highlight it for.
Good stuff.
Cool. Joe says tracking us at meetups. Well, see, I'm far too trusting, Shelley. You're like, you said, oh, I've got my cynical brain on. I'm far too trusting. I'm like, yeah,
Well,
that sounds really
You are that's a nicer way to live, isn't it? Whereas I go around going, what do you want?
See, I question everything, and I'm a pretty cynical old man these days. But the one that happened in Manchester, didn't they have an eBay rep go to answer questions and stuff?
Two eBay reps.
So it could be interesting and helpful in that way. The way we tend to do meetups, I mean, going back to the ones that you came to years ago, they tend to be just sit in a room and moan about eBay, and then just ignore eBay and just get drunk with friends. That's generally our kind of meetup.
Yeah, I think it was a bit more businessy.
Yeah.
So
I think it's pretty novel, actually. I mean, that's actually a novel idea for eBay, because from their point of view, if you put a bit of funding into it, it's still going to be cheaper than them hiring a venue, and but and also they look good. Like, it gives them a bit of, can't think of the word, but positivity in the eyes of people that are using them, and and they get to chat to those people. But as long as they will clear off when people want to get drunk, then it's all right, isn't it?
Or join in.
Yeah. But the point of meetups were not to make it about work.
Well, ours tend to be mostly that way inclined.
We do end up talking about
a little bit.
Because, we've got that in common.
But we'll see.
Talking about it.
We're going to talk about it, look at it, and see whether it suits what we want to do. Really, is the upshot.
Or we could just put out a question to people: what would they prefer?
Well, also, I mean, huge. Would they be bringing merch?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't
Could
know.
swing it.
I've got some contacts now. I might be able to
There are
get
only 3 pens involved.
a bag of swag. People are saying it's I'm a Celebrity time.
I know. I'm itching to go because we've missed.
Oh, sorry.
Have
I
we?
thought you said you had to go and put the telly on. What?
We will leave you all there. Thank you so much, Shelley, for giving us your time. It's been fun. And we'll do it again sometime.
We have to say bye-bye, don't die.
Bye.
Bye-bye, don't die. Especially us oldies. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Shelley.